Okay, this is another part of that first remote learning packet that I've had some questions about, and these are great questions. So I wanted to take just a few minutes to talk about these. If you work on these and have these to turn in tomorrow, that would be awesome. So let's look at this one right here. And we have talked about this many, many times in class with myself and Miss Spivey and in our third period groups that when people see these fractions, it kind of messes with people a little bit. So there are some different things that I could do here, different ways that I could go with it. One thing that I would suggest is moving the 9 over, and that might save you a step in a moment. If I add 9 to both sides, then I already have a much simpler phrase, and I can do that. I can add 9 to both sides. Then I would be left with 3y over 8 is equal to 22 plus y over 8. And whether you do that first or do the step that I'm going to show you first, I want to show you again how simple it can be to fix this problem of this fraction. So what I would do, I'm going to select a different color here, I would take everything. You know what I'm about to do. What number am I going to multiply everything times? That's right. I'm going to multiply everything times the number 8. Now, I can do this first, or again, I can do this after I've already moved this to this side. I have some options here. But what's going to happen is when you multiply 8 times 3y divided by 8, it's just going to simplify to 3y. You just got rid of the fraction, because 8 divided by 8 it simplifies to 1, and you're left with a 3y. If I did this step, then I'm going to have minus 72, right, equals, okay, and then 8 times 13, if you do that math, if you sneak the calculator or whatever you do, I believe it comes out to 104. And then 8 times y divided by 8, these two 8's cancel, and I'm just left with plus y. Now, in one step, just in that one step, you have eliminated these fractions because you strategically chose to multiply everything by the number 8. And remember, I can multiply by whatever number I want to, as long as I do it to both sides, and then I distribute to every number. I distributed everything. So this phrase right here, my original phrase, is the same thing as this, just in a different form. And then I can finish solving that equation. Okay, over here, what I have to do is distribute the 3 to this, and then to this, and then to this. Okay, so 3 times 9 is 27. Make sure you bring down these negative signs. And then you distribute the 8 to this, and that's multiplying, of course. So that's going to be 8 times 3x, 24x, plus 8 times 4, 32. Now, once you get all 5, you're going to have 5 new expressions. You're going to combine like terms. So all of these terms that have an x, you're going to combine them. And then you're going to combine this 27 and this 32. Combine those two. Then you can simplify. So you guys know how to do that, just reminding you about that. Now, let's talk about, get rid of all this glorious artwork here, and let's talk about this was the final one. So I've redrawn this one so that we can see it a little bit better. And if we look at the question again, it's telling me the square and the equilateral triangle have the same perimeter. So we have to remember what perimeter is. And if we understand the definition of a square and the definition of an equilateral triangle, then that helps us. So all those definitions we learned for shapes back in elementary school are going to help us now. So by definition of a square, all 4 sides are equal. So if this side is x plus 5, that side's x plus 5, that's x plus 5, and that's x plus 5. So then if I want to write the perimeter for this thing, The perimeter, there's another definition we have to know, is that total that I get when I add up the four sides. So I'm going to have four x's. So I'm going to have 1, 2, 3, 4 x's. And then I'm going to have plus 5, plus 5, plus 5, plus 5. That's going to add up to 20. So hopefully that makes sense there, that I'm going to combine like terms. X plus 5 plus x plus 5 plus x plus 5 plus x plus 5. That gives me 4 x's and 20. So that's the perimeter of that square. Now, for the triangle, it says that it is an equilateral triangle. So let me get the proper tool here. So it wants the perimeter, or it tells me that the perimeter of this thing is going to be the same as the perimeter of this thing. So over here, I know that the perimeter is this side plus this side plus this side. I can make these little marks here to indicate that all three sides are equal, because, not because I assume it, but because it tells me right here it's equilateral triangle. All three sides have equal length. So if this is 3x, then that is 3x, and that is 3x. So the perimeter, I'm not multiplying these things. The perimeter means that this plus this plus this. So 3x's plus 3x's plus 3x's, if I wrote it all out and counted them, that would give me a total of 9 x's. So the perimeter of the square is 4x plus 20. The perimeter of the equilateral triangle is 9x. So you know what to do now. If they have the same perimeter, then that means that this number right here is equal to this right here, whatever it is. Okay, so I can come down here, and I'm going to write an expression that says 4x plus 20 is the same thing as 9x. Okay, and then as I'm solving, 20 would be equal to 9x minus 4x, showing you this way. Okay, and then if I divide both sides by 5, then I know that x is going to be 4. Now let's check that. Let's check that by putting 4 right here. 4 times 4 is 16. That's 36. 9 times 4 is 36. So I know that 4 is x. Now, is 4 the answer to my problem? What is 4? 4 is x. Okay, so if I put it right here, then the length of that side is 9, right? Get the right tool again. The length of each side of the square is 9. 9 plus 9 plus 9 plus 9 will give me a perimeter of 36. Okay, making sure everything matches here. That's how I know that I'm correct. And over here, if x is 4, then the length of that side is 3 times x, so that's 3 times 4. So the length of that side is 12. But I have 3 sides because it's triangle, equilateral. So if that's 12, and that's 12. So that perimeter, 12 plus 12 is 36. And just like the problem told me, yes, the perimeter of these two things are equal in value. So let's go back to the actual question. The question was, find the length of the sides of the triangle. So what is the length of a side of the triangle with whatever units it would be? The length is 12. Okay. And just while I have you for just a moment, I would like to point out that if this was multiple choice, let's just explore what some of the choices would be. Okay, so the right answer would have to be a choice, right? 12 units, whatever the units is, okay? Did it tell us feet or anything? Nope, didn't tell us. So just 12 units of whatever it is, feet, inches, millimeters, whatever. So, because it's talking about length, so it would be a unit of length. But can we please talk about some of the other numbers that you will see as an answer choice? Obviously, one of the answer choices would be 4. Because people are going to do all this work and they're going to get x equals 4. And they're going to look over here and they're going to say, oh, that's the answer choice. I must be right. Sweet. But remember, the test designers know about this. They want to make sure that you go back and that you read. What are they asking me? They're asking me to find the length of the sides. So know that 4 would be answer choice, but it's not the answer to what they're asking you for. Another answer choice is probably going to be 9 because that's the length of a side of the what? Yep, the rectangle there. And then they would probably even put the number 36 because that is the perimeter. So all of these might be answer choices, and your job would be to know, after I find X, how do I use that? What are they asking me for? And you would identify that 12 right there as being what you want, and that would be your correct answer. Bam. All right, I hope that helps.